So you want to be a professional filmmaker? Well, today I'm going to show you some ways on how to accomplish that. Let's go get it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Rob Federick, and I am a filmmaker with over 20 years of experience. I am not just a videographer or content creator. I'm barely a YouTuber. I am a tried and true professional director. I started when I was very young. I've directed commercials internationally and nationally. I have award-winning short films and directed feature films as well. And I worked as a development associate for a major reputable studio. Again, my mission with this channel is to empower you, the aspiring filmmaker, with all the tools and information necessary to elevate your filmmaking career to the next level. And jumping off of that point, it's really important for me to tell you, look, what I'm doing is nothing new. There's a ton of filmmaking advice and information out there on the internet, especially on YouTube. But the truth is that a lot of people that are teaching filmmaking or relaying information are people that have learned how to do it, but are not necessarily professionals at a top tier. They are people that, yes, they are making money filmmaking, they are making content and putting it on the internet and maybe getting paid. Maybe they have a small array of clients, but really in the grand scheme of things, a lot of filmmakers that are on the internet are not operating at the top tier level, which, if you guys want to excel at any skill and become the best at something, I've always followed the advice that you should learn from the best, or at least the people that are operating in the field that you want to operate in. Guys, I'm not claiming to be the best filmmaker in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but I am very much a professional filmmaker that has worked on top tier sets. And really, the goal with my channel is to give you a lot of the experiences that I've had of doing high-grade professional work and teach you guys how to get and operate at the same level. So today I'm going to cover my story and a couple of suggestions, advice, and ideas that I can give you to start your filmmaking career and get off on the right foot to get to where you want to go. So let's get started. I always get asked, how did you get started? It's such a difficult industry. Like, how did you make it and start making money as a filmmaker? And the truth is, I'm going to be real with you guys up front. The filmmaking industry is a very difficult industry to make it in. It is highly competitive. You have to be on your A game. You have to be highly disciplined. And I'm not saying that to deter you guys from pursuing a career in filmmaking, but there's a reason why they call art a passion. Passion comes from the word suffering. And I'm not trying to be masochistic when I say this, but the reality is that passion is necessary to make it in this industry. You have to really love filmmaking and love what you do. It is a very difficult road, and it's filled with obstacles and failures that if you don't love what you do, you're probably just gonna give up and quit. And that is not what I want you guys to do. I want to empower you guys to continue your journey and push past those obstacles and get to where you want to go, because I will tell you, success is not the end goal, it's the journey. And as the great Tony Robbins says, people are rewarded in public for what they practice in private. And it's going to take a lot of discipline and learning on your part and practicing what you learn to make it far in this industry. With that being said, I also want to throw another disclaimer out, and this is something that I am very passionately supportive of and I believe in. Don't go into this industry if you're looking for fame and fortune. If that is your motivator to be a filmmaker or videographer or content creator, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to have a very difficult road ahead, and more than likely you are going to fail. And I'm not saying that again to deter you, but the reason being is fame and fortune are fickle things. Yes, this is an industry that has a lot of money behind it and an allure of fame. But if those are your two primary motivators, it is a very shallow and sort of empty, superficial way of approaching an industry. And the truth is, you're going to be swamped by somebody who wants it more on a deeper level. So I guess the main thing that I'm trying to say is find your reason why. Really start with that. Why do you want to be a professional filmmaker? Why do you want to get into this industry to begin with? What do you love about it? I'll tell you, at least from my experience and how I got started. I was a 6-year-old and I picked up my parents' video camera, and when I looked through it and the realization hit me that I could capture things with a camera and capture moments and tell stories, my whole life changed, and that is all I wanted to do. I think it's Robert Rodriguez who used to say that filmmakers have an obsession or an inherent need to pick up a camera and tell a story. It is something that we cannot shake off. Like, we have this burning need to just get out there and capture something on camera and see and produce an end result. And I think that that's a fantastic way of looking at how to motivate yourself and sort of finding those reasons why you want to become a filmmaker. Don't chase fame if you're going into this industry. It's not really a great motivator and you will burn out quick. With all that difficult stuff out of the way, and those sort of disclaimers that I wanted to get out up front, let's talk about the ways that you guys can become filmmakers professionally. I want to start with saying a lot of people come up to me and ask me questions. Well, like, hey, like, I have this movie idea, but I just don't really know how to start. I don't have the money. I don't know what to do. Like, can you give me any tips? Can you tell me how to start? And I'll start with this tip, which is probably the most important tip that I've ever heard, and you guys should apply yourselves. Just do it. That's the truth, guys. Just go out and do it. A lot of people are obsessed with having the stars align, or having the right time and tools and place for everything just to get started. And the truth is, nothing in life is ever going to be perfectly aligned for you to hit that grand slam and get started. More than likely, when you first start out, you are going to fail. You're not going to do a great job, but that's part of the process, guys. Like, nobody is an expert off the bat. Everybody wants to be good. Everybody wants to be good. I still want to continue to grow and make my films even better than the previous one. But the truth is, like, if you constantly worry about how great your first execution of any film or career start is going to be, you're never going to actually make the leap or the jump to start. So the best thing to do is just get started. This was my first camera. This was the thing that I started with. It's a Sony Handycam that, look, this wasn't even HD. In fact, this isn't even digital. It's an analog camera. You can't even plug this into a computer. And it shot with cassette tapes that you would put into this camera, and it would shoot at 720i. You guys have so many resources available to you now. Like, you guys have phones that like shoot cinematic quality. Like, this thing shoots in 4K. I mean, like, let's just compare 720i, 4K in your pocket. Look at the size difference on these devices. And you can edit on this, you can do visual effects on this, you can add titles. It's not a lack of resources, it's a lack of resourcefulness. And the truth is, you guys have everything at your disposal to make amazing films, right? Check out my video that I did about 5 foolproof ways on how to become a better filmmaker. It touches on all of the aspects that you guys can apply to your films. Links in the description. I think I can drop it in somewhere in here, but yeah, check out that video because there's a lot of valuable resources in there, right? You can just decide to make a movie on your iPhone and go out and put a couple of people together and shoot it. I shot films with what I had. You guys now have a wide array of tools to make really compelling looking films. James Cameron used to say that people were like, hey, how do you become a film director, right? And the truth is, he just said, well, you go out and film something and put your name on it, and now you're a director. Congratulations, guys. If you've filmed something and you've put your name on it, you're all directors. You have everything at your fingertips that's available to make a movie, so just get started. Okay, I know it's a long point, but now let's move on to how I actually became a professional filmmaker, because yes, you can just get started and film things on your iPhone. It doesn't necessarily mean that people are going to pay you or hire you to direct any of their projects. So how are you going to make the next step? Well, if you've applied the just started principle and start to shoot and practice, you're going to develop your skill sets and learn and grow as filmmakers, right? And then you're going to build what's called a reel, right? You're going to be able to do a 1 to 2 minute mashup of your best stuff, right? Your best scenes, your best shots, anything that you think speaks to you. Remember, in filmmaking, you're constantly marketing and advocating for yourself. No one is going to hand you a script. You're not going to be discovered, which is what the hope of many people are. It's like, well, if I just shoot and people find me, they'll someday discover my talent. It's never going to happen, guys. Like, there's so much talent out there, and there are so many people gunning for your spot that the truth is you have to always advocate for yourself and market yourself. And if you do that, your chances of success increase tenfold. So you're gonna wanna make a really good reel with your best stuff. Now, when you first get started, your stuff may not look like some of the higher end people. It's okay. It's a process and it's a journey, right? Like, do the best you can, but collectively start to add in all of the best moments that you've captured and update it as you keep filming stuff, right? And then the main thing is put it out there. Just put it out there for people to see. Get real-time feedback, get audience feedback, get people to comment on it, post it on YouTube, post it on Instagram, post it on Facebook, post it anywhere, right? Just get your stuff out there. So many filmmakers are so protective of their work because they're afraid that someone might steal the idea, or, you know, you want to release it to the right people at the right time. Again, none of that is reality, okay? Like, the only way that you're gonna get seen or discovered is if you put your projects and your films out there. So just start posting. And the way that I got started as a film director professionally was I had built up my reel doing exactly what I just told you guys to do. I was shooting short films on my free time. I was putting together the best stories I could tell with the resources that I had and executing them to the best of my ability. If you're able to do that and you're able to put it in front of the right people, you are going to shine. The way that I then made the next leap was I started working in the industry wherever I could, starting out however I could, and getting my foot in the door, right? Probably your best bet of getting hired on a film set or on a production of some sort is going to become a production assistant, a PA. Yeah, it's not the most glamorous job in the set, but you're going to be on set and you're going to be able to meet people and network and sort of learn and be involved in the industry. And if you do your job well as a PA, don't just start pushing everybody, being like, hey guys, I'm a director, look at my stuff. Do a good job at the role that you're assigned, and then you'll start to grow. Don't just go in there believing that, hey, I'm here to be discovered and to be seen, and I'm so talented that everybody should look at me. You're surrounded by talented people. Like, there are talented people all up in that industry. Talent is a dime a dozen. Ego gets you nowhere. That's all I'm gonna say. Curiosity and appreciation gets you everywhere. So keep that in mind. It's the age-old principle. If you want to become better at anything, surround yourself with people that are better or more advanced than you. But the truth is, you're gonna have to start somewhere, and if you surrender your ego and basically take a more of a learning mentality, you are so much more prepared and lined up for success, because people are gonna like working with you. And when they start hiring you for other jobs and you start to deliver on what they're asking you, everyone knows that people are in this to grow. They're not in it just to be PAs. So they might take an interest in being, hey, well, what else have you got? Like, what are you working on? What are you doing these days? And if you build great relationships and camaraderie with people, you can then start to showcase your work, your reel, and start to move up to that next level. And that's precisely what happened to me. I started building my reel. I worked as a PA. I did a good job. I started getting more and more jobs to shoot stuff within those shows. And eventually I had enough money to put together to make a short film. And I made a really good short film that I eventually ended up selling to Lionsgate. The other flip side of that was that because that short film did well and I had some other projects under my belt, and now I had a camera that had a little bit of more of a high grade look to it, and I was able to shoot some higher level stuff, I was able to update my reel a little bit more, and I started reaching out. Back when I got started, music videos, you know, it was a really great way for directors to get started professionally in a career. And the thing that I did was I started calling up record labels and talking to their A&R people, right? Which are the people who are seeking out artists and sort of signing new people and bringing new people into the labels, right? And basically said, hey, look, I am a film director. I am trying to break into music videos. I would love to see if you guys have any new emerging artists, right, that I could do any sort of music video for, low cost, right? Like, I know you guys don't have tons of budget, but I would love to start with you guys in partnership with some of your new artists to see if any of my music videos can help grow your artists, right? Do you have a reel? Was the first question they asked me. And I sent them my reel and they loved it. And they said, okay, yeah, we have this artist that we could possibly get you started with. We wouldn't have a huge budget. It would be $10,000. And for me, $10,000 for a budget back then was like fantastic. Eventually, I got a contract with Universal Music to direct a $10,000 budget music video. Really, it just took a lot of knocking on doors and presenting yourself in the best light possible. Once I made my first music video and it was a success, then I had a relationship with the label and I was able to sort of push to try to do more music videos for other artists. And they assigned me my second artist. Now the budget was not $10,000, it was $20,000. They doubled my budget and it was for another artist that was just again emerging. But again, now I had a second music video that I was working on professionally. And after that, I had a third music video that I worked on with Universal Music that was for a Grammy Award winning artist, and the budget was $30,000. So the budgets kept incrementally going up as my projects were successful and I did more and more for the label. The other thing that I was working on with the label at the time wasn't just making music videos, I was also shooting EPKs and sort of promotional content for their high-level artists, which got me in with some of their managers and the high-level artists that the label had, and I was building a relationship with them, which then opened the doors for me to shoot even more music videos. Then I had a reel that was much more professional grade because I was doing things for reputable labels, so my value in terms of a director went up because I'm now not just some person that's starting out with a reel or a basic sort of unknown clientele list. I had well-known established artists for a very big label, and my reel consisted of a lot of those projects. So therefore, if other labels looked at my reel, they were probably interested in me directing music videos for their artists, which is exactly what happened. I ended up directing 3 other music videos for very established artists that then, the budgets were between $80,000 to $150,000 to $250,000. And I was traveling the world making music videos for these people. And that is how my career took off. Eventually, having more and more high-level projects, my reel got to be much more valuable, and I was able to sort of break into commercials through contacts that I had made on my journey making music videos and other professional content along the way. How does that apply to you guys, right? Well, you guys can do the exact same thing. You guys can build your reel, you guys can go out and knock on as many doors as possible, and it doesn't have to be Universal Music or Sony or any of those big guys. You have a ton of independent labels nowadays. There are a ton of people that need client marketing, and you guys can go out and make videos and commercials for brands if you guys are resourceful enough to start connecting with people. And if you're working in any sort of industry job, you may even find those contacts even easier than you initially thought. So that is one way to go. Hopefully you've taken away something from this video. If you guys have more questions about how to make it as filmmakers, or if you guys want anything else elaborated on that I've touched on this video, please drop it in the comments. I will promise I will do my best to get to them. And again, guys, if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so. Your support goes a long way. I want to continue to give back to you guys, and obviously, if we grow the channel and grow the community, the more I'll be able to do to help you guys get to where you guys want to go as filmmakers and creative individuals. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next time. Stay creative and let's forge that creative future. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.